Ooh, we've got a good mix of things. English composition, Spanish, accounting, engineering. Oh, that's such a fun mix. It's a wide range of stuff. Mhm.
So, Alex, I'm mostly going to keep quiet as best I can. You know how I am, but I'll end the chat for you, and then and as you see these things come in, as we talk to folks, you can decide if you want me to take a group out for more advanced training or something along those lines.
Okay, that sounds good. Sounds like most folks either so far are like no experience or basic experience. So, biology, that's a good one too. Business, microbiology, love it.
All right.
Okay, so I think based on this, what makes sense, and Janeth, Tara or Tara? Tara.
Tara,
Um,
thank you.
Tara. Okay, yeah, no problem. Janeth, Tara, stop me if you think this is not right, but it sounds like probably the right things to do here is sort of do an introduction to harmonized discussions, but then maybe when we get to the point where you actually put the discussion in, we can talk about some of our other tools as well and just mention that we have other things available. Does that sound right?
Yes,
Okay,
sounds great.
cool. All right, sounds good. Does that sound okay with you, Marcus?
Yep, 100%. And if there's anyone who is hanging out and they're like, this is all way too basic and the chat looks manageable, we can break out a small group into an advanced training on specific topics. So if you're cruising along and following what Alex has to offer and you're like, yawn, seen it all before, then let us know in the chat and I can always drop a different Zoom link in, or if you guys have the ability to do breakout rooms, you can send us off into a room and we can do a different track. So
Sounds good.
having said that, I'm
All
going to drop off video so I can finish eating my lunch this late, and I'll mind the chat for you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Marcus. Okay. All right. Well, thank you to everyone who shared what you teach. That's a huge help to us because then I can try to pitch some examples to you and hopefully share with you things that might make this more useful specifically for you in your classes. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in. Hi, my name is Alex. I'm the instructional designer here at Harmonize, and I'm really excited that I get to talk to you about this today. It's fun to have so many people who are new to Harmonize or maybe have just kind of done the basics. I love getting to introduce this tool to people. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give a brief slide deck that kind of gives an overview of what Harmonize is. I promise the slide deck is tiny. No one really likes a slide deck, so we'll keep it short. And then we'll go over and look at what Harmonize looks like inside the learning management system. You know, what a discussion looks like, what posts look like, what a student post looks like, and what the comments look like, all that stuff. And then I'll show you how you would actually create content in Harmonize. And then hopefully once we're all feeling good and excited, we can try building something in Canvas, like setting up a harmonized discussion. And that part can be really hands-on if you want it to be. So if you would like, if you would like to build along with us when we get to that stage, go ahead and pull up a Canvas course if you have one, like a sandbox or a play site, or maybe your course for fall, if you're getting your course ready for fall and would like to try to build something to use in your fall course, feel free to go ahead now and get that up because I know it takes a little bit of time. And then when we get to that building stage, we'll be able to build something and you'll get to do some hands-on stuff because that's the fun stuff. Okay. And a couple more things. This is being recorded. Y'all are recording it. So you will have that recording to come back to later. So if I'm talking too fast and you missed something, don't worry. You could go back and listen later, but also feel free to tell me if I'm talking too fast. You want me to slow down. And then we'll also leave you with some guides that will cover some of this stuff as well. Feel free to jump in and interrupt me at any time. These things are way more fun if they're participative, or feel free to drop stuff in the chat. We knew this was going to be a relatively big group, so Marcus is here. Marcus is our founder, and he's going to be manning the chat. So you can get your questions answered directly by our founder if you would like. Very exciting. Okay, I think that's it. So I will go ahead and dive in to our, I promise, tiny slide deck. Okay, so since most folks are new to Harmonize or kind of just getting started with basics, This is kind of an overview of what Harmonize is going to offer for you compared to the discussions you probably have available to you now. So on the left, we have what discussions tend to look like in most learning management systems. They tend to be really text heavy. We sometimes call this the CVS receipt of online discussions because it's a lot of text that you just have to scroll through. It can be hard to navigate, I think, for both instructors and students, hard to see what's there, where you want to engage. On the right is what your students' posts look like in Harmonize. And it's something that's more engaging, more inviting, more social media inspired. What we do is take each student post, and for that post, we create a card with some information about the post. And then we lay the cards out in a grid. And the result is that it's a lot easier to see at a glance what's there and figure out how you want to dive in and spend your time. So in this example, we have some students posting memes in their discussion. And so the memes are getting pulled forward onto the cards, but there's other information on the cards too. There's some text because students type in a title. It shows the number of comments that the post has, the number of teacher comments the post has. That's a cool one because if students see that a teacher is commenting, they love to go in and see what's happening there. And there's a little like a tag if it's new. So you and your students can easily see if something is new and you haven't read it yet. So all these things just make it a lot easier to navigate that discussion, to find what you want, and to engage more meaningfully. I'm going to step back from the good stuff to some resources. I like to give resources up front because if I don't, there is a chance I will forget to give them later. So I want to offer you some things that might be useful to you as you are getting started with Harmonize, and I will drop these in the chat. One is our Instructor Help Center. So there is a link to that. Right at the top, there's a guide, an interactive guide you can click through, and it's basically an interactive version of this training. And you can see, get an overview of Harmonize and see how to set up your discussions and how to grade your discussions. There are some other things you can jump to here along the left, or you can just scroll down. For those who are familiar already with Harmonize and maybe want some more advanced stuff, we have a new peer review tool and all the guides are here. Oh, Tara, that's so nice. Tara said the instructor guide page is incredibly helpful. I love to hear that. And then there are just all kinds of things like answers to whatever you could possibly ask about Harmonize can be found here. So check that out. And then if you still have questions after that, you can also reach out to us as support. I always like to make sure people have our support email address. We are support@harmonizelearning.com. We love to hear from you. I mean, not if you're having real problems because we feel bad for you, but like in that case, we do want to hear from you because we want to help you. So reach out to us, any problems, any questions, even just feature requests. We love to know how you're using the product and what's going well, or if there are things that you wish worked differently. I'm one of the people on that email address. So is Marcus. So you could get support right from our founder. Our main support guy is Eric Brown, who is fantastic and brings much wisdom and sunshine to any problems you might be having. So don't be a stranger. Let us know if you need anything. And then you might have a survey pop up after this training, and feel free to complete that if you do. Actually, you won't have it pop up because it's your Zoom room. So if you want to complete a survey about this training after the training is over, feel free to do so. There's the link to that. We do like to know how the training is going because we're always trying to improve. It's a big part of who we are at Harmonize. We're always trying to iterate and make things better. Okay, back into the good stuff. I said a minute ago, here's what your discussions will look like in Harmonize. That was actually just what the student posts look like in Harmonize. This is what your whole discussion can look like in Harmonize. Can I make this? I'm going to pull this out and make this a little bit bigger if I can, just so we can see it better. This is what your discussions as a whole can look like if you set them up in Harmonize. And they have a lot of the same components as your classic Canvas discussion. So hopefully you will find the same kind of stuff here and then find a lot of other cool features as well. What we have at the top are milestones, and milestones are basically due dates. The difference between milestones and the Canvas due date is that you get more than one milestone. You actually get as many milestones as you want. So in this example, this discussion is set up for one post on a Tuesday and then 2 comments due the following Tuesday. And this is a really cool feature because I think anyone probably who has taught online has had that experience of asking students to post once and reply twice by Sunday at midnight. And it is Sunday at 11 p.m. and nobody has done anything. And so then there's no time, they come in at the last minute and scramble and try to do everything, but there's no time for that discussion to evolve and have multiple touch points and really have the depth you want it to. So it's really nice to be able to have these clear, specific milestones for students of when posts and comments are due. And we do a lot to make those milestones real for students. We pass these back to Canvas. They will show up on the course calendar, on the student to-do list. Students get email reminders, notifications, like when they're coming up or if they miss a milestone. So we do a lot to try to keep the students on track with the discussions. Down below the milestones, that's where you'll see the topic, the prompt, the instructions, whatever you want to call this. In this example, we've got text and we've got a video. This is another thing we are all about at Harmonize. We love multimedia discussions and making those easier because we know they're engaging for students. We know they support sort of multiple means of expression and learning from universal design for learning, all that good stuff. So in this example, the instructor has posted a video. We try to make it easier to post video. To that end, we have an inline video recorder that's very easy to use and doesn't eat your stuff. And when you use our video recorder or when you upload, because some people do just like recording their videos elsewhere, either way, we're going to give you machine captioning and then display those captions automatically, which is a really great baseline accessibility thing. Okay, so below the topic is where you would click to create a post. And then below that is, again, where those student posts are laid out as cards in a grid. And in this example, you can see the different kinds of visual interest we'll pull forward onto a card. So Laverne on the left, she included an image in her post. So we're pulling that image forward. On the right, Marcus, he recorded a video. So we've got a still from his video. In the middle, Nick, he just posted text. But even for Nick, we're going to pull through his Canvas profile picture. It's that social media pics for attention thing. I've also heard from instructors that seeing the students' faces nice and big with their posts really helps humanize the discussion, helps them put names with faces, that kind of thing. That's kind of the harmonized discussion layout. And I think with that, we're ready to go see what this looks like in Canvas. So I'm going to come over to Canvas. And one thing I like to point out once we come over to Canvas is that we live right within Canvas. It doesn't have to feel for your students or for you like you're going some completely different place. And what I mean by that is you will be able to click on our items right in Canvas and have them open in Canvas. So I'm going to take a look at this human anatomy discussion. And I'll try to gesture toward, as we're talking through this example, I'm going to try to gesture towards some of the applications it would have for different people in the room. We've got a wide range of specialties, so I may not hit everyone, but I will try to. Okay, so in this example, there are milestones for a post and a comment. I, as an instructor, can hover on these bars and see how my students are doing. So I can see how many of them are done with the post. I can see how many of them are done with their comments, how many of them have started their comments, all that good stuff. This particular discussion includes an image, it includes a YouTube video. If you copy paste links to YouTube and other public facing video sites, we'll bring through the videos nice and big like this so that students can view them right in the discussion. We've got a poll here. This is a fun thing. You can poll your students if you want to. In this case, the poll is about the video. So it's kind of enforcing, like gently guiding them to maybe really watch the video so they can answer the poll. And then we've got some instructions for the assignment. And then down below are where those cards are appearing in the grid view. And another thing you can see on these cards that I like is that if students do reactions, the reactions show up on the cards. You can click on them and see the summary. So again, a fun kind of social media thing that makes posting with Harmonize more interactive and fun for the students. You can even set a milestone for reactions if you just love the reactions and want students to react. All right, I'm going to click on Laverne's post so that we can see an example of what a student post might actually look like. Okay, so here's Laverne's post. Laverne has text and an image. So her instructions asked her to post text and an image, and that's what she did. And then she's got some reactions. And down below, Nick has replied to her with text and he has a reaction. So if you do, like a text discussion with maybe one media element, that's what it's going to look like. It's pretty easy to set up and do, and it's got a lot of it's pretty easy to set up and do, but it's a big lift in terms of making it easier for students and instructors to navigate, more engaging for students because of the multimedia elements, because of things like tagging, reactions, all that good stuff. If we scroll down, we can see some of the other cool stuff you can do. We have an image annotation tool that I think Marcus was talking about a little in the chat. This is maybe most useful for the art and design person. You can annotate images. Marcus, you came off. Do you want to say something?
I was going to say the same thing, and then you said it all, and I was like, I should have just stayed off video. Yeah, so maybe let me just highlight this a little bit. For those that are doing things that are inherently more visual and need critique, there are tools to do deep critique of visuals and videos. So you can do timestamp commentary. So I saw there was a communications professor that was in the room, Julie. You can do screen shares directly into Harmonize and then do timestamp critique on them. And I don't know if Alex will get to that later on, but if not, I'll drop a guide in the chat for you to see what some of these deeper critiques look like for doing screen recording and such.
Yeah, this is actually such a good mix of disciplines to highlight the many different things you can do with it. This visual critique, obviously good for something like art and design, but biology too. You might have them like labeling parts of a cell. In something like business or accounting, you might ask students to post, you might post a graph and have your students like identify a minimum or a maximum on the graph and what it meant or something like that. In accounting, you could have them like upload written work and you can comment on it. So lots of good uses here. And then some other things. Okay, so this is an example that's maybe more broadly applicable to everyone. David has responded to Laverne with a video. And just like we want it to be easier for instructors to post video, we want it to be easier for students to post video. That's fun and interactive for them. It supports their learning by letting them express their learning in different ways, not just text. Can also be a nice sort of chat GPT deterrent. We're not going to say anything is chat GPT proof or anything like that, but encouraging students to incorporate some of these more creative elements is sometimes giving them something to do that's not so easy to outsource to chat GPT, or maybe even something they don't want to outsource to chat GPT because they just want to record a video. And so they get the same inline video recorder you do, and their videos also get the machine captioning and have the captions show up, which is pretty cool. Scrolling down a little further, actually, there's a better example of this. This is that timestamp feedback thing Marcus was just talking about. And this is showing an example with a video, but you could also do it with a screen recording where the students can upload videos and you can leave comments right on them. And they'll be timestamped. And if you click on them, they take you right to that moment in the video where the comment applies. And this is really cool for anything where students are doing presentations. Someone said they were a Spanish instructor. So if you have your students recording Spanish videos, it'll be very easy for you to leave timestamped comments of like, oh, you great accent here, or like you used the wrong tense here, or something like that. In something like computer science, you might have students talking through their thought process when they did something, and then you can critique here. Communications is the other really obvious one, like Marcus was saying. And you can have them do either a video speech or they can do a speech over a screen recording of slides. And very soon, I think, Marcus, you could correct me if I'm wrong, we worked out like in about 10 days or so, they'll even be able to record both their screen and a video of themselves at the same time.
I said 9 days, but I think you're right. It's 10 days.
Is it more like 10? That's
Or
something
maybe 11.
maybe 11. That's something the public speaking professors have been asking for, so potentially useful for them.
Quick note for the Spanish instructor, I'm going to drop a link in because you can actually change the closed captioning to Spanish as well if you would like. And so I'll put a link in on how to do that for you if you decide to play around.
Great point. Great point. I love that. Okay, so this is kind of at a glance all of the different ways you and your students can create harmonized content. Because like you could also post a presentation, like you could record a presentation with Harmonize and ask your students to like leave timestamp comments on your lecture. Like your students can do these things for each other. You can do them for the students can do them for you. So there are a lot of different ways to engage here depending on what you want to do. All right, let's dive into seeing how you would actually create this content. And I'm going to show this from the student perspective. I'm going to go in and be a student. All right, here I am. Oh, and this is cool. I must have reset the test student before I came in. So go me. So the first time your students go in, they'll have a tip pop up that shows them how to use Harmonize, and they can play a little video and see. And then for me as a student, the meters at the top show me my personal progress. So I haven't completed my milestones yet. It's reminding me I need to complete my milestones. But you'll see that most of this looks exactly the same for me as a student as it did for you as an instructor, which I think is great because you want to be able to help your students if they have questions. And so it's important for things to look for them pretty much like they do for you. I can answer my poll if I want to. It's kind of fun. And there are my instructions. And then if I'm ready to post, I can come down and click create new post. This particular discussion was configured for Turnitin. And so I have to accept that before I proceed. And what I'm about to show you is the way your students will post. It's the way you would post. Most of this stuff is also applicable when you're setting up your assignment. Like when you go to create your topic instructions, you'll have this same text box and all this stuff. So it's really how you create content anywhere in Harmonize. So for a post specifically, your post is going to have a subject line, like post about engineering. I haven't said anything for engineers yet, so we'll make this a post about engineering. And then I can put some text here, drop some sample text in. Oh, and you'll notice too, this assignment is set up with a word count minimum. So if I haven't met that yet, it's going to show me in red that I haven't met it. It's going to pop up a warning here. And then once I meet that word count, this turns green and the warning goes away. So we kind of help the students meet the word count minimums, which is great if you have that problem of students not really posting enough or commenting quite enough, commenting with like, great job. And you want them to push a little bit more. The word counts are good for that. You've got some formatting options up here, including an equation editor, which might be useful for engineering and accounting. And then down below, there's a place you can click to upload files or drag and drop files. And that could be like images or videos or I don't know, instructions that you have in a document that you want to attach. I'm just going to drag and drop a couple of files here. I'm uploading. Okay, so I've attached slides and I've attached an image. And I have alt text fields that pop up automatically. I don't have to go anywhere else to get them. My thumbnails come in small by default, but I can make them large. So if it's like my art class and I want my art that I did to show up really big, I can do that. Or I can make them medium. And then scrolling down, we have what I like to call the goodies row. This is where all the good things live. That is not the technical name, but it's the fun name. There's a lot of stuff here, so I can't show everything, but dive in and explore later. The most important thing here, probably that gets the most use, is the video recorder. So I'm going to click on that and show you what that looks like. Oh, look at my hair. Okay. So here I am in the video recorder. I can click start record, be like, hi. Maybe it's my introduction to the class post. Hi, I'm Alex. I live in Indianapolis. I have a cat and a dog, whatever I want to say. I, as a student, by default, have 5 minutes, and it shows me my time max, and it shows me how much time I have left. You, as an instructor, will have an hour, up to an hour, and you can change how much time the students have. So if you want them to have more time, like they're recording a big speech, you can dial that up. If you want them to have less time, maybe they're just doing a quick introduction post, you can dial it down, just have them do a couple minutes. You can pause when you're recording, go away, come back, click record, keep going. When you're done, you can click stop, and it's going to process that, and then you can play it back and review it and see if you want it. If you don't want it, you can delete and record again. So that's the video recorder. And then we have very similar recorders for audio and screen recording. So those are all things you can do right here in Harmonize. The other important thing I wanted to point to, because we have someone who is computer science, you can add code that you don't want to execute, but you want to show. It's a good one too. And this is also where you would add a poll. All right. The last thing I'm going to show here with posting is that we have a AI coach and an AI feedback tool that you can turn on if you want to. It's optional. You don't have to use it. But if you set up a rubric for your discussion or your assignment or whatever it is, you can choose to let the students get some feedback from the AI on the work they have done. And this isn't like detailed feedback, and it's not going to it's not going to tell them what to change. It's not going to do the work for them. It's really more of like a guide for self-assessment and a way to guide them into self-reflection and revision. Okay, so it's telling me I've got some room for improvement in these areas, much room for improvement on engagement and interaction, probably because I haven't responded to my peers yet. So if I as a student see this, I can go in and then decide where I want to make changes. You know, it's going to remind me of what the rubric criteria are, but it's not going to tell me what to do, which is pretty neat. And then when I'm ready, I can click publish and my post will appear. So are there any questions about creating content?
There's a question about video format that I'll just answer live. Like if you're recording video, your students don't need any additional video software to create things. They can, however, upload their own videos, and I couldn't find the main list, but the iPhone video is supported, and if they are on their phone, it will upload that video and convert it. And we don't do file size limits on videos, which is often a problem from iPhones because they're such nice cameras. So if you choose to give them 5 minutes, and that does take a gigabyte of file size, that's fine. We will upload it. We will check it for the file size limit and say, okay, 5 minutes and 1 second, try again, versus 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Great, come on in. And still photos as well. We use Amazon for it. I need to check if the HEIC is like a video image format, actually, not a video format. Let me go check on that one and I'll answer that one in chat.
Good question though. And like maybe to go along with that, this isn't quite your question, Billy. But sometimes people at this stage will ask, like, do you have a phone app? We don't have a phone app, but your students can access Harmonize through the Canvas app. So like if your students have the Canvas student app on their phone, it's really easy for them to take pictures of their work or record videos on their phones and then upload right through the app so that they don't have to like email those photos or videos to their computer and then try to get them from the computer onto Harmonize. Any other questions? Either feel free to like speak or type in the chat. Any other questions? Does the AI response only work if you've used AI to create the rubric within Harmonize? Great question. You know, I assumed that when I first started using that, but no, it can do it with your own instructions. The instructions, you have to, oh, you do have to create the rubric. I thought they were asking about the instructions.
I was like, wait, no, Alex, that's not
I was
correct.
getting too excited. I thought they were saying, do you have to use the AI created instructions? You have to use a rubric within Harmonize. It doesn't work with the Canvas rubric, but you can put the Canvas rubric into Harmonize if you want to. It's a little laborious, but you can do that. So you can get in and put in your grading criteria for the focus areas, generate the rubric, and then put in your like copy paste in the boxes. So
additionally, if you don't want the AI coaching, but you do just want to use your own rubric, you can attach your own rubric to a Harmonize activity and it will appear in SpeedGrader just like the ones we generate will. So you can grade with it. We just can't coach on it. And that's intentional because the rubrics that are outside of Harmonize are often more generic. And so we are very careful about what we'll coach on. It has to be very, very assignment or discussion specific in order for us to be able to coach well. And a lot of the reused rubrics from outside are often more generic. And so we didn't feel like we could coach comfortably with those.
I was going to see if I could find an example real quick. I don't think I have one, but if you don't have a rubric attached, there will be, you can't see it here because it does have a rubric, but if you don't have one, there will be a button here on the Canvas side that allows you to attach the Canvas rubric. You just won't be able to coach on it, Marcus said. Other questions?
I'm sorry if I missed this, but did you go over the customer key that we need to use? And do we have to get that from our department? How do we download this?
She'll go into that shortly. You don't have to do any of that setup. It's all done for you. Sierra took care of that for you. So she'll show you what it looks like to add one here in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think we are about at that stage. If people don't have any questions about creating content, Do we want to go build something? I think it's time to build something. So this is the
Before you
part.
go
Oh,
build
yes.
things, were you going to cover some of the other tools, or are you going to do that now? I didn't want you to forget, as that's non-standard a little bit.
Do you want me to cover? Okay, so
Your
let's go
call.
ahead.
Your call. I don't know.
Yeah, we can do it. Let me pop in. So because we mentioned drawing on images, commenting on images, and timestamp feedback, let's show those real quick. So I went into the post I just created, and for my image, if I want to, there's this respond by drawing button on the bottom, and I can click respond by drawing, and it's going to give me a copy of that drawing. And I have some tools here that I can use to mark things on the image. I can drop pins, leave comments. I can even, there's a little drawing tool and I can draw right on here if I want to. I have, options for different things I can do with these tools, like changing color and size and stuff like that. So that's really great for art critique and image critique. And then for the timestamped feedback, what I can do is look at my video, and right below it, there's a button that says respond within video. And if I click on that, I'm going to get my own copy of the video. There it is. I'm going to mute it so we don't have to listen to me. But then we can click play and it's going to go. And when I get to a spot where I want to leave a comment, I can click respond. And I can drop a comment in there like, oh, I love Indianapolis. And just going off what the caption says here. And then I can click play and it's going to go further. When I get to another spot, I can click respond again. And you'll notice that all the drawing tools are available here as well. So just like you can draw on images, you can draw on video stills and leave comments about whatever you want. So that's how the timestamp video feedback works. And we actually have a cool new, I just remembered, Marcus, we have cool new guides to these things. So if you want to drop those in the chat, feel free, that show how you do these things. Is there anything you wanted to add here?
I was actually thinking more of peer review because I know Janet had asked us to touch on the new peer review tool coming. So those were awesome because you did cover that. So.
Well, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the student view and I'll go ahead and quickly show our peer review. So this is something new. We have all of these same tools available in peer review. So I'm not going to linger on this too long, but I will show you where you add a peer review, and I want to show you quickly what peer review looks like. So from an instructor perspective, a lot of this looks very similar. It's built on the discussions, but with some differences. You post an assignment. You only have 2 milestones in peer review. You post an assignment, and then you do peer reviews. And if you scroll down, you can see all of these assignments that have appeared. If we click on one, we can see a student who has submitted all the things. This is a cool thing with our peer review tool. Your students can submit multiple things at once. So this student has submitted an essay and some slides and an image, a video. So whatever you want your students to peer review, they can do it. And they can use these same kind of tools we've been talking about. And then we haven't talked about this yet, but we have document annotation as well, where they can leave comments on specific moments in a document if you upload a document. And this is great if you want your students to review each other's essays, presentations, peer review each other's art. It's more of like a critique than a discussion, right? You offer them feedback, and then they can use that feedback to improve their work. We've got a lot of cool features with this. We're about to have rubric grading where students can grade each other on the rubric. What are some of the cool things we already have? We already have like anonymous peer review, where students can't see who is reviewing them. We do just-in-time peer review assigning. So like students come in and they get matched up with someone if someone is there, and that makes it a little bit resilient to late work. So like someone can come in a little late and still get matched up if everyone isn't done already. And the other thing I really love about this from an instructor perspective is we make it really easy to get a quick view of how your class is doing with peer review. I can come to the activity view and go, oh, Sola's done. Teresa's not done because she did her post, but she only did one review. Makes it super easy to monitor what's going on. Are student responses just seen by the instructor or all students? So yeah, in peer review, only the student who wrote it and the student who received it and the instructor will see. So it's a little more clamped down. In the discussion, everyone will see it unless you change visibility. We do also have the ability to let you do like small groups in discussions. Good question. The other thing we're really excited about here is we show them the correct instructions for when they come in. So when they first come in, they will see their instructions for doing their drafts, doing their initial assignment posts. And then once they've done that and they're working on peer review, we will show them the peer review instructions. So all these things really help students do the peer review on time, do the parts of it they need to when they need to, and they're able to use all of our cool engagement tools to both create work and to critique each other.
We are doing several peer review specific trainings that are more in depth. If you want to dive in and the help guides aren't enough, I'm going to drop those in the chat so you can sign up for those. Those are free. They're happening once a week, I think starting next week. So you could jump in and attend one of those if you'd like, although it is very similar to discussion. So what Alex is about to show you for setting up a discussion is very, very similar to setting up a peer review. So you may be able to get self-started just with what she's going to show you today.
Yeah, and we've got some pretty decent guides too that I can drop in here for peer review that walk
By
you
decent,
through.
you meant awesome because you wrote them.
I have to be humble because I made them, but you're allowed to say they're awesome. So we have some guides to creating a peer review assignment, grading a peer review assignment. We've got a couple of FAQs about that. And then we even have a cool student facing guide. So if you're worried about guiding your students through the peer review process, you can give them this guide and it'll help them get started. Okay, so whatever you want to do with us, whether it's a discussion or a peer review, either way, you're going to set it up the same way. And now is the cool time where we get to make stuff. So if you've been feeling tired and you're ready to get going, now is the time. Go ahead and open up your play site, your sandbox site, your site for fall, wherever you want to build the thing. And we are going to start by creating an assignment. So we live within assignments in Canvas. So I know some folks create their assignments in assignments and then add them to modules. I'm actually going to go to module and create my assignment right there. So I'm going to come to this playground area for me, and I'm going to click plus to add an assignment to my module. Make sure I'm on assignments, click create assignment, and I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to do that engineering discussion I was imagining and click add item. There it is. I can click on it and click edit. So I haven't done anything different than you would normally do for a Canvas assignment at this point. There are a couple things I want to set on the Canvas side. One, I want to set the points. And then two, I want to set the due date. And I like to linger on this a little bit because it's different from what you probably do in Canvas discussions. When I taught in Canvas, I always had the due date be for when the first post was due, because if I didn't, nobody posted on time. But with Harmonize and the way the milestones work, you want the due date to be when the final comments are due. So select the date when like the last milestone is, whatever you're having them do last, that's your due date. And then you're ready to connect to Harmonize. Now, this part has a lot of clicks. If you haven't connected to an external tool before, it's going to seem weird. Don't feel bad if you can't remember everything. I think I had to do this about 10 times before I could remember everything. So don't feel too bad. Marcus has uploaded a guide that shows step by step exactly how to do this. And of course, you will have this recording. So follow along if you would like. Tell me to slow down if you would like, but don't worry too much. If you miss a step, you have guides to walk you through it. Okay, so I'm going to come to submission type. Normally, you probably choose online here, but we're going to choose external tool. The idea is Harmonize is a tool that is external to Canvas, and the student is going to be submitting their assignment through Harmonize, through this external tool. So we click on external tool. A nice little link field pops up here. This is a place to put a link that connects this Canvas assignment to some activity in Harmonize, but we need to go find that link. So there's a find button right here. We're going to click on that. My list is short here. Your list will be long, but it is alphabetical. So scroll down to the H's, find Harmonize, and click on it. And what you will get is a list of every graded assignment type, every graded activity type available to you in Harmonize. So we've mostly been talking about discussions today, but we also talked about peer review. We also have individual assignments. Like if anything we did showed you today appealed to you, but you were like, I just want to do that as an assignment, not a discussion. You can do that. We have standalone polling if you want to poll your students and then give them a participation grade for that. We also have PDF annotation. Tara, Janeth, I don't know if you guys have something like perusal or hypothesis. If you do, this is not worthwhile, but if you don't, I can mention briefly what this does.
Yeah, I know that we're kind of short on time, but if you just wanted to mention maybe some highlights before you continue on, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah. So PDF annotation, this is sometimes also called social annotation. This is a way for your students, like you can turn reading into an activity and therefore hopefully get your students to do the reading. Marcus and I have brainstormed about like, should we really just call this like make students do the reading? Because PDF annotation sounds so bland, but it's really powerful because students can read and then highlight bits of text and comment on them and reply to each other. And so rather than telling them to go do a reading and then go to a discussion, they can do the discussion right in the margins of the text as they are reading. So the reading, instead of something passive that they have to go hunt down, it is an activity. It is a thing they do together. It is a way to engage. And you can craft cool kind of discussion questions or kind of like set them loose with annotating in different ways. And it can be a really powerful way to make reading happen in your course and a much more hands-on engaging way to make reading happen. So if you have your students, I think there's an English composition person here. I used this when I was teaching English composition, but honestly, like a lot of these subjects probably have students reading PDFs or things that can be converted to PDFs at some point. Marcus pointed out some use cases here. Great for math. Yeah, because you can have students actually like annotate and like look at steps in the problem. I assume, Patricia, that's what you're thinking. But if you're thinking something else, feel free to share. I love to hear that this is good for math. And Tara says it's a good alternative to an actual discussion board. Yeah, very cool. Okay, so let's actually show setup. Oh, and if you want to know more about one of these things, click on any of these question marks here and we'll like open a whole guide to that. So if you're like, I am interested in that, feel free when you're in the editor later, we'll give you can get a guide very easily and walk through it. But for now, because we're short on time, we're going to do only one thing. I'm going to click on discussion. This step always confuses me. I always feel like I've done something wrong and gone backward. But I did go backward, but something is right, which is that I have a link here. So if you see a link at this stage, you did everything good. Last thing I'll say, this box is sometimes checked to load in a new tab, but we recommend unchecking it. Harmonize looks just fine loading right in your Canvas window. And that way your students don't have to feel like they're going somewhere else to do this stuff. At this stage, you just click select, your link goes in, and you click save. And if you did either a peer review or an individual assignment or a discussion, you're going to be dropped into a creation wizard like this. So here's my wizard for creating my discussion. It's going to walk me through setting up requirements, writing instructions. At that point, I can actually be done if I want to, but it's also optionally going to walk me through setting up a rubric or even an AI coach. If this is your first time inside Harmonize, you will see something else here. You will see, it won't look exactly like this, but it will look kind of like this. It will be something that says enable Canvas features. And please click that if you see it. It's what lets us pass rubrics back to be graded within SpeedGrader. It's what lets us see your group sets if you want to do discussions in small groups, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so on the requirements, you can edit the due dates if you want to. You can say how many posts you want, do how many days before how many comments. Anything you put in here is going to be sticky. So if you always have one post due 2 days before 2 comments, the wizard will remember that setting the next time you come in. You can choose to turn on or off auto grading. We actually haven't talked about this at all somehow. This is one of our cool features. We offer completion-based, process-based auto grading. It is not AI grading. I like to make that clear. Sometimes people are worried that it's AI grading. Sometimes people are hoping that it's AI grading. Whether you're worried or hoping, it is not AI grading. It is completion-based grading. It's going to grade them on, did you do the thing? Did you do your post? Did you do your comments? Did you do the thing on time? And did you meet any minimum word counts there were? So it's really just, did you do it? Did you do it on time? Did you do the amount of it I asked you to? But that's cool because we're often just grading discussions for process. And then that frees you up to really engage with your students and spend your time that way instead. The last setting we have here is Turnitin. If you want their posts to go through Turnitin, you can select that. And when you're happy with your settings, you can proceed to write instructions. If you have your own instructions, there's a big write my own instructions button here. You can click on it. You just go put your own instructions in. But we also have a cool tool that helps you. So we can have the AI kind of like help you draft a prompt if you don't have one already. And it's got some pretty cool ideas inside it. So let's see, what would be a good engineering discussion? Like, I want my students to discuss, I don't know, engineering, like engineering in terms of bridges and bridge failure.
I was waiting for the English professor to build a quality engineering term here.
Oh, like do some other kind of engineering thing. No, real engineering, real engineering. It's all real engineering, just different kinds of engineering. But
technically, I believe this is architecture that you're working with, but we'll let it
oh
slide.
no. Okay, discuss engineering. Is civil engineering, right? I don't know. I want my
Sure,
students.
maybe. Go for it.
Okay, we're
You just
gonna
run
go
with it. I am interrupting and we're short on time. I shouldn't
We're-
be being snarky.
We'll go with it. We'll go with it. You can change the complexity level of this too if you want and make it a more or less complex discussion. You can click generate instructions. Okay, cool. Online exploration, analyze and share. Oh, I love this. Engage with peers. Okay, so it wants you to find a recent, I don't know about recent news article that describes, okay, so I'm going to say, I like this, but it doesn't have to be a recent thing. We'll see if it understands that. So you can type feedback to the AI. I say that because bridges don't fail every day, I hope. Yeah, okay, I think it got it. It made it a little bit different, but it's similar. Okay. When you get something you like, you can click review and edit this. Please review anything the AI generates very carefully. It is a well-meaning but error-prone assistant. Make sure it didn't hallucinate or anything like that. And at that point, you can be done. You can skip rubric and AI coach and just go publish because you set your requirements and you wrote your instructions. I am going to show, though, how to set up a rubric if you want to do that. Yeah, Marcus, I have to get excited about the things I helped with. So I do like those different instructional design strategies. This part takes a second. And this is what I thought someone was asking about earlier. I thought someone was asking, do you only do the rubric on AI generated instructions? We can create a rubric based on whatever your instructions are. And it's pretty good. Like I copy and pasted in some of my old assignment instructions from when I was teaching my old essay instructions, and it was quite good at pulling out my grading criteria and making thoughtful rubrics. So we're going to give some criteria. You can edit them if you want to, delete them, add to them. This is also where you turn on or off the AI student coaching. So I think it's on by default, but you could turn it off if you don't want it. And when you're ready, you can click next. And then we're going to generate that rubric for you. It's a 4-column rubric. We do pass it back to Canvas. And at that point, it's just a Canvas rubric. You can transport it around wherever you want in Canvas, use it however you want to. I ran into an instructor once who used Harmonize primarily as a rubric generator. I was like, that is not how we intended it, but that's cool. I like that you can use it that way. So if you don't like writing those 4x4 grids, this can help. And you can click, someone had asked about, like you can click in a row and edit the points and the descriptions. So like if you have a rubric in Canvas you already like, and you want the AI coaching for it, it's a little laborious, but you can come in here and put it in. And when you're ready, you can save. And again, this is an off point. You can go publish and be done. And that's it. You can also configure additional settings. And I like to show this just because this is our editor. So if you go to edit a discussion after using the wizard, like use the wizard to create it, and then you go back into edit, you're going to see this. So I do like to show it. Basically, there are 4 tabs. There's the instruction tab, which is most of the stuff we've talked about already, including the rubric. There's my goodies row. But then there are some other tabs here as well. There's post settings. This is where you could set video time limits if your students are recording presentations. This is where you could change that captioning language to Spanish if you're the Spanish instructor. This is where you could put your students in small groups, all kinds of good stuff. Milestone due dates and auto grading. This is where you can set word count minimums, play with how many points they're getting for the different milestones. If you've got auto grading turned on, allow late participation, stuff like that. And yes, you can turn off closed captions if you have a reason to. We were talking about like, if you think like one application can be in language classes, like if your students are really new to the language and you think their accents are going to make it hard for the captioning to be very accurate, you might consider turning it off. That's maybe one use case there. All right, so that is setup. Are there any questions about setup? I know I've like flown through it, so I'm sure the answer is like yes, but we're gonna leave you with guides. I think Marcus dropped in the step-by-step guide to creating discussions, and it walks through everything we just showed you.
It did, and it's also the guide that I believe is linked from the question mark when you are adding one to the course as well. So,
Yep.
so if you didn't get the link or you lose the link when you go to add a discussion, as long as you can get to that first external tool find button, it will then give you the links to be able to differentiate between discussions and social annotations and those types of things.
Yep. Good point. Well, can I go ahead and click publish, make my cool discussion. And then probably the last thing we should show real quickly is the grading for this. So I'm going to pop over to my modules and pull up the discussion I like to use for showing grading. Oops, double clicked. So one thing I like about our grading is that we live right within SpeedGrader. So I always felt very comfortable with SpeedGrader when I was teaching at Canvas. I didn't really want to go somewhere else to grade. You can grade right from the SpeedGrader. So here's my discussion, living in Canvas. There's SpeedGrader off to the right. If I click on SpeedGrader, it's going to open up my students' work. Usually, I think I like to show Nick's work. Here's Nick. What you will see in the SpeedGrader, you will see any posts the student has made, as well as any comments. And this is actually a live view of the discussion. So you can reply to Nick right here. Like if you see something in his post that you want to respond to in the discussion and have other students see, you can reply right here. And you have like all your tools. There's that goodie row again, or you can get more options and expand it out. You can even make the comment private, all kinds of good stuff. You can see in the SpeedGrader how many posts Nick has viewed. You can see what he's doing, what kind of comments he's received. You can see his Turnitin score. You can click on it to see the full report. You can see if he got AI feedback. You can see how the auto grading scored him, all those things. Marcus, I saw you on mute. Did you want to?
I was just going to highlight this because some people don't really recognize the time savings we were shooting for here, which is you kind of have 2 roles in discussions. Like you can review the grades or grade with a rubric if you want, but you also are facilitating the discussion for an RSI perspective. You can do both right here. So the students who get their work done early, you could come in and grade and then just comment in the left panel. And instead of that, what that means is instead of going back to the discussion, finding the post, responding to it there, you just throw the comment in right here on the left-hand panel. It gets published out to the public discussion for you. So you are both facilitating the discussion and getting your grading done in one move so that you don't have to do as much clicking.
That is a great point. I'm glad you emphasized that.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Could I have you highlight of how it works if students post a response to the discussion after the due date? How does that show up? How does that affect grading?
That's a good question. I wonder if anyone in this discussion has done that. The part of the answer is it's going to depend on, oh, yes. No, this is something missing. It's going to depend on how you have that late participation toggle set. So are you talking specifically about auto grading, or are you talking about sort of any situation?
Talking about, is it going to show in SpeedGrader here? Will it kind of regrade that score once the due date hits? Do faculty get notified if there is a late response?
Good questions. So I don't have a great example to show it here, but I'll talk through it. You see this little panel here. This panel is going to give you, whether or not you have auto grading enabled, this is going to give you all the information about how the students did with the milestones. So if they did everything right, you're going to see big green bars. If they did something wrong, you're going to start to see other stuff like other colors of bars or other colors of icons and little bits of information. If something was late, there will be a note here that it was late, and something will show up red to like highlight to you that it showed up late. What we do grade wise depends on, so if you're not using auto grade, what you do grade wise is up to you. If you are using auto grade, there is a toggle under post settings, under milestone due dates and auto grading, that says something like late participation does not earn points. That's the default, but you can also turn it on. So if you have it set to late participation does not earn points, they can submit it, but it's not going to count in the auto grade. And you'll see that here. You'll see that they didn't get the points. If you set it so that it does earn points, it will earn the points, but you will still see the message that it's late. Like you will still be notified that it was late, but they will get the points. So does that all sound right, Marcus?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can always override the grade. I can't stress that enough. As soon as you change the
Yes.
grade, we stop touching the grade. So if you're like 50, they deserve 60. At that point, even if they submit late, etc., you have weighed in. You're the boss. Your grade comes in. You can grade with a rubric if you want. All those things. Important to note, probably the single biggest question we get from instructors: if you come in early, before the discussion is finished, before the due date has passed, and the student has not finished all of the work, they've done one post and one comment, they were required to do two, we can't make it available in SpeedGrader until either they finish that second post or the due date passes. A whole bunch of reasons why I won't get into, but if you come into SpeedGrader early because you like to get your grading done early, you will see, like, can you select Edith's name up in the dropdown? You can see some of these students are gray. Those students have not yet finished what they need to finish, and the due date has not passed, and it's going to say their student does not have a submission.
Yeah. But if these same students, I don't know, the due date might have passed on this one at some point, but like you might
I was
see
gonna hand
something
wave
here.
over it. That part.
You might see someone here, like, and it's worth mentioning because it's not how discussions work in Canvas. And so I've encountered instructors who come here and panic and are like, the work is not passing back. But one of two things, like Marcus said, one of two things has to happen. Either they complete all the milestones or the due date passes. At the due date, we pass back anything that's been done. We basically just have to be reasonably sure the student is done. Because once we submit anything to the SpeedGrader, Canvas is like, ooh, the student submitted the assignment, all done. And if they aren't really all done, it creates some problems. So if you want to monitor before that due date passes, you can look right in the discussion, or we have this cool activity view. I showed you what it looked like for peer review, but we do also have it for discussions as well. Kind of gives you that same like top level overview. And if you click on people here, you will see their work, even if they're not done and the due date hasn't passed and it hasn't gone through to SpeedGrader, you will see everything they have done right here in the activity view. Whew, we talked about a lot of things.
I was gonna say, you made it through everything and more with 2 minutes to spare.
I did. Apologies to anyone who felt overwhelmed. We kind of like, there were a lot of people and a lot of things, few people were interested. So we packed in all the things. If you're just like, this was too much for me, feel free to come back later to the guides and just take it one step at a time. But we hope we showed you something that was interesting. If you do have any questions, please reach out to us. Again, it is support at harmonizelearning.com. We are happy to help you, and we hope you have fun with your Harmonize things. And I don't know about you, Marcus, but I'm willing to stick on for a couple more minutes. I guess this is your room, Tara and Janet, so it would depend on you guys, but I'm willing to stick around for a couple minutes if anyone has follow. Yeah, you are. Okay. So I'll stick around for a couple minutes just in case anyone has follow-up questions, but an hour is more than enough time for a tech training. You guys were fabulous. Thank you so much. And have a great Friday and weekend, everyone. Bye.
And for those that want to stick around, I did drop a link in. So if you're like, okay, discussions, got it, show me all the other stuff. We are doing an overview session a couple times in the upcoming weeks. That's just like higher level. What were social annotations? What was polling? What were Q&A forums? What are all these different things I could do? I've got the discussion part down. We will be offering those every semester start as well, so you can always come back to them. And so I dropped that link in with the reservation link in there. It's free to sign up for as well. So.
Yes. And thank you so much, Alex and Marcus, for joining us during our Flex Week for an hour. We really appreciate your time and your expertise and being able to share it with our faculty. So thank you so much. And I'll hang out for maybe another 5 minutes in case folks have questions.
See a follow-up question already. Once I did set up an assignment, which I did. How can I go back and edit? I hit edit, but it only takes.
There are 2 edit buttons.
We're still.
Yeah, there's an edit button for the assignment in Canvas that lets you edit Canvas settings. And then there's an edit button inside of Harmonize that she's pointing to now that will take you into the Harmonize settings. So if you click edit assignment settings, that changes the overall due date and the point totals. If you click our edit button, it allows you to edit everything else. A little confusing, but we're not allowed to hook into their edit button.
Good question.
Thank you. And also I just tried to set up the rubric through Harmonize, but I wanted to do a manual edit, or I'm sorry, a manual rubric, but I still think that I had the old one that was there, and I'm not sure if I can go back and check that.
You can always delete so if you wanted to, let's say, so you're implied you have a Canvas rubric you'd rather have used instead of the one you just set up through Harmonize, correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, so if you delete it here, if you go into the edit button and you delete this one here, and then publish, I'm 90% sure it also removes it from the overall discussion itself. And then if you scroll to the bottom where the rubric is visible, you may have to refresh the page, and then it should disappear here and allow you to reassign it. If it doesn't automatically delete it from here, you may have to click that little trash can she's showing at to remove our rubric, and then you can go ahead and pick your existing rubric from inside of Canvas as well.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem. Other questions?
I have a rubric.
I still don't know how.
If
I'll raise my
possible.
hand.
So sorry. I can wait.
Lorraine first and then Patricia.
I still don't know how to register, how to get it,
Okay.
the customer key.
Yeah, it should be, let me give you the steps again. So it'll be, you create an assignment inside of Canvas and it should just be all available for you. But let me get the help article to walk you through it, because we have a help article that will actually pause every single step of the way and walk you through what it looks like. So if you go to this article I'm putting into the chat, there's a play button right in the middle of the screen, and it will walk you through, okay, here's step 1, and then it will blink and wait for you until you've created step 1 inside of your LMS. Click it, and then it will take you to the next step, and then you can complete
Okay,
step 2.
ready
So
to create this, but I can't even download Harmonize. I can't add it to my class.
Tara, it should be in all classes already, is it?
Yes, there's no download that you need to do. So
Oh, it's not?
Nope, you don't need to download anything. So just go in to create an assignment like you would usually do in Canvas. And then instead of under submission, instead of choosing online, you're going to choose external tool, and then you would choose Harmonize.
And that link I
Not an
put in will.
assignment.
And I'll make a note to send you an email in a little bit, and I can give you some more instructions too if you like, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I totally don't get it.
Cool.
Create an
Tara.
assignment or create a discussion.
Create an assignment.
Well, if I already have assignments, okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Patricia, your question.
Yeah, one little glitch that I've noticed when I used the AI to create a rubric.
Mhm.
And even though I tend to work with really low point levels. And so like, even though I've gone in and set it for 5 points or 6 points or something like that, it always seems to come back to 100. And I have changed and changed and changed it. And then and I'll save it and I do all the things I think I need to do, obviously. But then students start doing something, and then in the grade book, it's like 100 points, 90 points. And I'm like, what? I've already changed this. So I don't
Oh,
know what I'm doing as to why it's not actually maintaining
here's
the new point level.
here's my guess. You are editing the points inside of our rubric. Is that correct? You're going in and changing
Yes.
each of the rubric items. When you set up the assignment initially, you probably told Canvas it was worth 100 points, or maybe that was the default.
It might have
And
been a default because I
yeah,
never have anything 100
yeah.
points.
So if you go into edit assignment settings for that individual assignment, it will probably still say 100. And so you will need to change it there to be whatever the maximum low-level point total they can give is. And if you change that at the start, I mean, Alex, do you want to share that screen just so she can see where it's at? If you set it up at the start to be like 5 points, we will divide those points evenly as we can for you. But if you change them only inside of Harmonize, we still treat Canvas as the boss.
Okay.
And so we will scale those.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
screen were you wanting me to show the?
Edit assignment settings.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's
Okay.
a points here at the top of the assignment settings that will probably say
Oh.
100 in that.
I was just gonna say, when you opened it up, it did default to 100. So,
Yeah,
okay,
it
that's interesting because, yeah, I'll have to check that. But thank you very much. That must be what's happening. The only other thing I wanted to share with you guys, I mean, I thought this was a fantastic, a really nicely done presentation, but oh my gosh, we need way more time. This was too short.
yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. We struggle with this
And I did
constantly.
an overview, which was great, but I kept thinking, I need a little more time on this, and so it was very fast. And while it was also awesome, so don't take that as a negative because I don't mean it that way, but in the future, please give more time. Yeah, because this is a great tool. And there's so many things you shared that I didn't even know it did. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do a poll. I want to do that PDF thing that you were talking about, marking, annotating that. I was like, this is fantastic. I just didn't even know it did all of this. So
Yeah,
I
it's a
thank you.
struggle Alex and I struggle with constantly, where we talk about how much to put into a 101 training.
Yeah.
And there was and with the varied group here, it's like, do we cover all these things or not? So thank you for that feedback, because it's a constant struggle because everybody
Oh, of
wants
course.
different amounts of information, and we're never quite sure what the sweet spot is.
Yeah. Well, maybe have like a level 1, a level 2, a level 3.
Yeah.
And
But
so,
anyway, awesome job.
yes, thank you. We are going to start to wrap up here because I'm going to have another
sorry.
workshop starting up here in about 15 minutes. But you can always reach out to Harmonize if you kind of have technical questions, especially for that support at Harmonize Learning. If you have a quick question or you're having trouble setting up initially an assignment, you could always reach out to us at Distance Learning, distancelearning@sierracollege.edu. And I am happy to help you as you're working during the day. And there are guides online as well to help you out. So we are here to help you. Don't get too frustrated or too stuck. And thank you so much for joining us today. And I really appreciate your time, Alex and Marcus. Thanks for staying on a few minutes later.
All right, appreciate everybody.
Thank you guys. Bye.